Welcome to our webinar. Today's focus is on the wonderful machines that you can see on this picture. It's about off-highway vehicles and about how they can be connected to the Internet of Things in order to optimize their operation. Every one of us sees these machines every day on the street. We see them in construction, agriculture, and also many other areas. And I think that most people would agree if I say that our modern world would simply not work without these machines. Like many things today, these machines must be connected to the internet in order to get the best results out of their work. And this is exactly what we are going to talk about today. It's about connecting those machines to the Internet of Things and to IoT platforms. I'm very happy that we have three real IoT experts with us today. So as you know, it is a joint webinar between TTControl and A1 Digital. So from TTControl, we do have Valentin Ecker. Valentin, hello, you are in Vienna right now. You're product manager IoT at TTControl. We have Stefano Brasca, who is located in Torino today. And you're technical sales manager at TTControl. Welcome. And from A1 Digital in Vienna, we do have Alfred Hofstetter, digital services consultant. Welcome, Alfred. So, and moderating today for you are Nina Wiercimak from Vienna also. And my name is Philipp König. I'm from Munich, Germany. So you see, we are a quite international team today. So as for the agenda, we will start with some very basic information on the IoT and machine learning value chain. Then a look at the turnkey solution, TT Connect. Then we will speak about the benefits of it. And I'm really looking forward to the live demo because this is something where you can see the solution in action. And for me, it's very interesting to watch. And as I said, please, if you have any questions to your audience, just type it into the webinar tool, and in the end, we will be having a Q&A session. So starting with the first point on the agenda, a very short introduction about A1 Digital first. So A1 Digital is a solution provider, and we are helping companies on their digital transformation journey. We were founded in 2017 and we belong to the big A1 Telekom Austria groups. So our product portfolio consists of IoT and machine learning, which is our topic today. But A1 Digital offers also security solutions and network as a service, as well as cloud. Maybe you have heard about our safe European exascale cloud. So with these three product areas, we are helping 1,500 customers worldwide, and A1 Digital has around 200 employees. We have offices in Munich, Vienna, and Lausanne, and data centers in 4 European countries. Now I would like to switch over to my colleague from A1 Digital, Alfred, for you to continue. Are you ready to take over the screen?
Thank you, Philipp. I'm ready to take it over. Yes, then I will start with my part of the webinar. I would like to give a brief overview on the value chain, which comes with an IoT and machine learning project. So they are the most important components on this picture. So you have, of course, to make a decision on the hardware, which with your machinery is connected. You need somehow a solution for the connectivity to get the information from your machines to a centralized platform. You have to think about the IoT platform itself and its functionalities. Also the hosting environment, which comes for the IoT platform, where it is operated in and where the data is stored. And Later in the project, of course, if there is a sufficient number of machineries in the field already connected and you are collecting a lot of data over a certain period of time, it's also worth and very important, actually, or very valuable to analyze this data in a more detailed way and also make machine learning models out of this data insights. And this will be one of the next step in this value chain. In the current application, which we introduce later in more detail for the off-highway market vehicles, we provide connectivity from our solution portfolio. So that's worldwide coverage with our roaming partners. We provide here special SIM cards, which are highly robust, so which are made for this environment and for a long-term lifetime. We run also a life cycle on the SIM card tariffs itself, because of course there's a testing, there's a shipping, there's storage phases in the whole life cycle of the service, and the service itself has even 2 different use cases, or could have even more. So there are different tariff plans available. This brings me to our tariff plans itself. So we make this always very project specific. So they are more or less individual tariffs and pricing schemes where we get a proposal in accordance to the project where it's used. Managing the SIM cards is possible via the platform itself, which we provide. It's called Simplify, or you can also integrate it completely to the IoT platform application and do it from there. And of course, we provide here a 24/7 support scheme for this service. The next main part, or the heart of the solution, is the IoT platform. And also here is several functionalities which are quite important that such a platform is capable of. So very important is, of course, the device management, device configuration, and firmware management of the hardware, which is used to connect the machinery. Also, the security managing of this connection is a very important part, which has to be done by the IoT platform. And then, of course, when it comes to the usage or to the right to access the data which is collected from certain machineries, it's important to have here a access rights scheme where you can give the rights to certain members of your company, of your customer's company, to see just their own equipment or their own machinery and the data. Also, quite a very important feature is a rule engine or alarming engine, which allows to monitoring the activities on your devices and on your machinery. And to visualize the whole data normalization capabilities are very important, and even microservices to run or to program small applications on the IoT platform itself is a quite important feature. Yeah, with this capabilities, then it's quite possible or quite a good sound base to make a very, very powerful application setup, which we will see in the later stage. With TTControl, we started the IoT partnership actually already 2016 with the first conceptual talks about a solution in this market field. And the first POC, the pre-POC, was already done actually also in 2016. And since 6 years, we are working together, and our part in the solution is the IoT connectivity with worldwide coverage, the IoT platform, which we bring here in 3 different instances, so that we have a development environment, a staging environment, a productive environment, and the hosting in a European cloud system, which comes also from us. So this brings me now to Valentin, which will give you a concise overview about the turnkey solution, which is created out of these services from us.
Okay, so let me first start with 2 slides of our company, what we are and what we do. TTControl is owned 50% by our parent company, TT Tech, which is mainly focusing on aerospace, industrial, and also very intensive in autonomous operations in the automotive industry. And we're 50% owned by our parent Hydek, yeah, and Hydek supplies hydraulic components and also mechanical components that you might need when building your off-highway machines. And since Hydek is more focusing on this part, we are more focusing on the electrical control part and also on the connectivity part. Yeah. So our portfolio looks like this. We have classical ECUs, also safety certifiable with I/O modules integrated. We have HMI displays for the cam in and outside. Ethernet architectures, so for a little bit modern architectures, yeah, so Ethernet switches, rugged Ethernet switches, and what I want to talk about today, the cloud and IoT solutions. Besides that, we also have an application development center, meaning that if you have special requirements in the software, or you need help in actually automating your vehicle, the ADC, we call it, the application development center, can help you with that. Yeah? And if you decide to do it on your own, of course, we also have the TTC Academy, which is just training and support center. Both of them are located in Brixen in North Italy. So as Alfred already mentioned, you in principle need 3 pillars, yeah, to build your IoT solution. First, you need to select the hardware, which in our you can source from us, and we buy it from a automotive manufacturer. Yeah, it's industrial grade. It's IP 6K 9K, so you can mount it also outside. It should be able to withstand the harshest conditions. And what A1 is providing for us is connectivity and the cloud access. Yeah. Important, all 3 items you can get from us in a package. Yeah, so you don't have to source them individually. What does the solution look like in the machine, in the connection? You might have an ECU and you might also have a display on the machine, and you can hook up both of them via CAN and also in some use cases also via Ethernet, yeah, to the TT Connect Wave, what we call the hardware. And the hardware itself has antennas integrated and also possible to do it externally, and it uses the cellular network connectivity with the connectivity provided by A1 to connect to the cloud solution. Of course, very important, where does the solution work? Yeah, so we try to cover, of course, North America, European Union, so all Europe actually, and also some other countries we think are very important for us, and also maybe also for your market. Yeah, so Australia, Japan, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, and also others. Of course, if you have a specific country in mind, yeah, and you say like, okay, I need to have it worked in Vietnam, for example, please reach out to us. Yeah, it's totally possible to get connectivity there as well. But the important thing is you don't need to worry about the roaming cost. Yeah, so the cost will always stay the same, no matter where you export your machine, and also no matter where your customer is using the machine. Yeah, that's very important to us. So there is 0 risk for you involved. Yeah? Different than if you would travel with your private phone. Very important to us was also the quick time to market. Yeah? So there is with our solution there is no programming needed. So you can configure everything on the cloud and apply the configuration to the device from the cloud within. The parameters here, of course, look a little bit very technical, but usually your engineer that programs the ECU or also the display and configures the whole machine can easily identify the right values here to enter. Also, the users that you might have, so on your side, yeah, and also on your customer side, you can manage from the same platform. That is very important. Yeah? And of course, no additional tools needed. Yeah? So everything you need to have is a browser to configure the solution. Of course, what you might want to have is, since you are using our solution, or you might use our solution to create an offer towards your customers, yeah, you want to have the solution to look like it's yours, yeah, which is totally understandable, and we support that. Yeah? You can see here a few examples of our customers. So it can be done very simply. Yeah, you can change the colors to your corporate identity colors. You can add the logos in the right place. You can add the machines, yeah, what they look like. Stefano will then present a little bit more in detail what is possible, and also the dashboards, how it can be configured. Yeah, so you can very much adapt the solution to your specific needs, and also that it really looks like it's coming from you. Yeah, so you are the digital provider in this case. Security, of course, we also have a built-in. We use standard encryption with TLS 1.2, which is state of the art. The connections are only allowed outbound, so only the device builds up the connection towards the cloud. There is no incoming connections allowed. Everything will get blocked. Yeah? And also, in any case, the traffic happening between the device and the cloud solution is separated from the rest of the internet. Yeah? So A1 helps us there. Yeah? So if a device connects to the cloud, it doesn't even traverse public internet. It's completely separated. The hosting is done in Austria and in Germany with a redundant site to be GDPR compliant, of course. And now I would like to give over to Stefano, and he will tell you something about the benefits. Yeah, so what you can offer your customers, and also the benefits you can possibly draw out of it yourself.
Okay. So what are the main benefits of connecting a machine to the cloud? These are the 5 main areas. We will go deeper into that later on and then in the demo. So first of all, obviously, is gaining a remote access to the machine to check the state from everywhere you are. Knowing where the machine is, so thanks to the GPS, having access to the location, sending and receive files apart from the messages. And the last 2 is possibility to debug the code that you have on the machine and upgrade whatever is on your control unit in the machine. But what do we intend for remote machine access? So once the wave is connected, you're able to retrieve the CAN messages, for example, oil temperature, oil pressure, engine temperature, and send it to the cloud to see how the machine is behaving. And vice versa, you are able to send message from the cloud to the machine to, for example, inform the operator of the machine or activate special function. This message can be used to configure alarms. So, for example, you can be informed if the engine temperature is too high or the fuel level is too low. All the data are then stored, and you're able to trace the historic view and do analysis on that, and also generate reports to be sent to customer to show how the machine behaved on the field. For asset tracking, thanks to the GPS that is integrated in the Wave, you're able to see where the machine is and where it was. So the track that is done on the field, and also to do a geofence alarm. What is it? It means that you can be alerted whenever a machine enter or leave a specific area. This is normally used, for example, on construction site to know if a bulldozer is within the construction site or has went out for any reason. For send and receive file, you will be using the device as a file transfer. So, for example, you can send the work order to the operator on the machine. Imagine you create all the data that he needs to do on a drilling machine, how many poles, where, which length, create a file, send it to the Wave, and then the display will get this file and show this information to the operator. So no more need to paper sending or so on. And vice versa could be used for creating a log on the control unit, upload it on the Wave, and have it available on the cloud for analysis or debugging. For remote machine debugging, if you're using Code Assist 3.5, that is the most used, for example, on display, you are able, thanks to the VPN tunnel, to connect your computer to the wave and access the display or the control unit as if it was connected by cable to your computer. This means that you can not only you can debug it from remote, so see the full code running, change parameter, change line, or even completely reflash the device. For all the other TTControl unit, there is a TTC downloader, which enables the fully reflash of our control unit regardless of the language on which they are programmed. So even if it is Codesys 2.3 or C, you will be able to reflash them fully. And now I would go into the demo to show you quickly how it's made. So this is the cloud that we are proposing. It's divided mainly into two areas. One is the device management, which is intended to be used by the manufacturer, which is configuring the wave and what the user can see and so on. And the other one will be, we'll see it later on, the cockpit, so where your end user will access to see widget, the performance of the machine, and all the other data. So the first things to be done when you are have installed the wave on a machine is to define which CAN message you want to upload to the cloud. We call them device protocol. For example, here we have a list of device protocol, and each of these is defined by their parameters that are normally the same one that you're already using in development. So which is the ID of the CAN message, the start bit, the length, and so on. This message will be, let's say, transformed on the cloud and will receive this unique name. So in this case, battery value. Once this has been done, you can go on the device itself. So in this case, this is demo wave, and add the device protocol to the device. You can add as many device protocol as you want. So at the moment, there are 6 device protocol loaded. Sorry, it's taking a while, but it's on live. And you will, every time you add a device protocol, he will show the exact, will enable the wave to collect all the CAN message that you have on that device. Well, okay. So we were talking about the TTC 580 before, and this is the device protocol. Once this has been done, we can go on the cockpit. So this is the part that is for the customer, and this is what normally the customer see. Here is an example of a TTC 580 dashboard. So for controlling, for checking the state of another control unit, we can see what is the battery voltage and the status up to now. So 1427 in real time. We can define values of red range and yellow range, so to be informed if it is becoming too high or too low. And we can, let's say, plot the status in different way. One is what we call the silo, that could be horizontal or vertical. And the other one is the radial gauge or the graph. We said that the wave is able to send message to the cloud, but also to receive message from the cloud. So here we have created a field bus widget where we are sending a message to the TTC 580 to control a valve and a LED. As you've seen, after receiving the message, for example, here I've asked for 150 milliampere, that is the same that has been reported here, and has been transformed by the control unit in 21,000 duty cycle. On the second one, we are connecting directly on duty cycle to connecting the LED, and the result is a different milliampere current for the LED. All these values can be then obviously plotted and stored. So here, for example, there was some training before, and also here is what we're going. And if you need, you can zoom in or zoom out in case of further analysis. If you need to go to have a look to value in the past, you can use the Data Explorer. So here are the value that we are seeing now, but if you, for example, need to go and have a look of what happened 2 months ago, you can just change the date and see and analyze what was going on then, and further focus. Okay, the two last thing on the dashboard would be here there is a list of widgets that we have. So we said before about the silos, about the graph and the radial gauge. There is the possibility to track where the device is and was. In this case, it's on my desk, so it's not possible to see any track. We can even clone the effect that we have on the dashboard of the vehicle, thanks to the lamp widget, so icons that are changing color based on the result, or even create a list of all the messages with the value. The last widget I would show, it is the scatter widget, just to give you an idea. It's an easy one, but it will need some really short programming. I'm a mechanical engineer and I've done it on myself. And in this case, it is possible to see how the value change and affect the graph. So for example, in this case, the CAN message is just sending 0 and 1. 1 means valve closed and then valve is color red, and 0 valve open and is color green. The last next would be the alarm we were talking before. So there is the possibility to create alarms on the device and to show also the past alarm that were available on that device. This could be easily done from the info tab creating smart rule, and then you can also have a look to all the alarm that were raised in the past. As you can see, we have different level of alarm from minor to critical. And once an alarm has been raised, you can even receive a mail on your email to be advised in real time, or you can even just leave it on the cloud. The last thing I would like to talk about is the control user. So one thing we normally ask is, what can I do with my user and sub-user? Here, the main logic we have is the funnel. So all users can have the same right of their parents, no more. This means that you can create a funnel where the main user can have all the rights, and then the sub-user can just have a set of rights of the main user, either as capability or as visibility. So in this case, we are using the demo wave device management, and as you can see in the inventory role was authorized just to these 3 folders. And these 3 folders are the one that we are able to see under the groups. So it's exactly one-to-one. If here we would create another user with less rights than him, for example, demo wave TTControl, he would be able to see less folder or having less capability as cockpit and administration. And this is more or less all on my side.
Okay, wonderful. Awesome presentation. Thank you so much, Stefano.
Welcome.
So we are through our agenda right now. We still have the questions coming up. And what I wanted to show first is actually, so what's next? How can you guys contact us, contact the panelists? What I already did is typing in the LinkedIn contacts of our experts in the chat window. So please connect through LinkedIn, and also you can see our email addresses here. Also, we have gathered some questions, and at this point, I would like to give over to Nina for the first questions to ask.
Good afternoon from my side again, and thank you for the questions we have received so far. I want to start actually with a question from Indonesia. I think it's for Valentin. Is it possible to order only the IoT gateway device, or do we have to purchase the whole solution? And there was a second one, would the remote debugging and remote flashing of the device still be possible in that case? And the last one was, is it available for Indonesia?
Yeah, very good questions. So in principle, you have two different options. Yeah, you can follow up. You can buy the device only. Yeah, but then you would need to implement the software on it yourself. Yeah. Either you do it or we can help you in the software in the application development center. We did it already for other customers. If you have very specific needs, we can write the software for the device and on the wave, yeah, and you just buy the device itself. Yeah, that is possible. And the second option is you buy the package as I presented. Yeah. Currently, Indonesia is not part of the connectivity. I just looked it up. Yeah, but we can talk about it. Alfred and me need to talk about this. Yeah. We can talk about it. Right, but in either case, there is the option, yeah, for you to use your own SIM cards. Yeah. So if you have, if you want to start off fast, for example, yeah, until we have it in a package, you can just use your own SIM cards, yeah, your own M2M SIM cards. There's no special requirement for it. Yeah? Just insert it and it usually works. And of course, the remote debugging. Yeah, sorry to just add. So remote debugging. If we in the first option, yeah, if it's part of the software package, you can do the remote debugging according to your needs. Yeah. And if you use the second option, of course, remote debugging then is also possible. Yeah.
Is it available in Indonesia?
Yeah. So connectivity, as I said, is currently not available. Yeah. But I think we make a meeting afterwards. Yeah, and we talk about it. Yeah. So in principle, it's possible.
I just want to add, it's possible, so we would support it. It's just that so far we haven't covered it in
right.
our project together.
Right.
Maybe I can add a second question, which fits good because it's concerning their resources. There was a question that a company has the experience to want to implement an IoT solution like that for many years. But a main stopper was the lack of sufficient IoT managers, IoT manpower to handle the development of such a system. And if we are, so the question was, if we are deploying your turnkey solution on your machinery, how much IoT or IT resources would we need still in-house to run this support system?
Yeah, that's also a very good question. So in principle, I would say there is, of course, work involved, yeah, because you need to design the device in like an ECU or display, of course, yeah. So physically and mechanically and stuff like this, but configuring it, yeah, and getting it up to running is usually done in a week. Yeah. So our technical support team, yeah, Stefano, for example, he can help you with that. So he will support you until there is connectivity. You can read out the data, you can send data, whatever your needs are. Yeah. So it's usually 1 week, and when you get it running, yeah. So the work of on your end, of course, will be also creating an offer towards your customer. That is quite some work usually, yeah. And then on the running side, I would say if it's up and running, then usually it's less than half a resource, yeah.
Thank you. Maybe I can handle this question. It's for Stefano. How to start? So what to do next? What do you can give for the customers what they are doing next if they would decide for the TTControl turnkey solution?
Okay. Can we share the start kit slide? So we have a starter kit, which contains our wave and all the cable needed to be used from the desk, so to connect it on the PC, the antenna, and so on. Okay, so this is the starter kit I was talking about. So this is the wave, there are the cable, and everything needs to connect to the PC. And there's also a USB stick with all the documentation and the software needed to start. Plus, on our service area, there is also some more or less 15 different videos for training hands-on on the wave that will guide you from creating the first device protocol, so the first scan message, to creating the widget, creating the user hierarchy, and all you need to do. So it's quite easy. Get in contact with us, with me, asking for a price quotation of the starter kit, and then once you have, we'll support you on going live.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have two more questions, and I think they go both to Alfred. So the first is with reference to the time to market aspect. Out of your experience, how long will it take to implement your turnkey solution in a new customer environment and have the overall application ready with proper stability and proper maturity?
Okay. I answer it for the IoT part actually. So we have the IoT platform, which is here in the core platform also in this kind of solution. And we are on top actually this turnkey solution. The big advantage is that you get here already an existing and an application environment which is fit for a mobile off-vehicle machinery environment. So there are the typical data structures and the typical data transfer necessities which are already covered with the solution like Stefano showed and presented in the demo. Time to market, it depends a little bit also on your machinery and on your processes towards your customers and what kind of offering you would like to give your customers. But I think here it's really the integration. The only thing which has been done in this specific scenario is to get actually the integration of the wave, which has a CAN interface to the interface of your machinery. And here we have already structured data sets, so it should be quite really short period of time be possible. So first connectivity should be made in weeks without any problem. I would pass forward the question to Stefano, how you would see this this timeline to run a system.
I perfectly agree. From my experience, what customers normally do is they get the starter kit, they play a little bit around on the desk. In a couple of days, they install it on the first machine and define what is the dashboard. And this is what take, let's say, the longest part. But after a week or a maximum a couple of weeks, they have the first dashboard they want to show to the customer. And from that, they start to implement and going in production with the wave. Once you've done the first dashboard, you can clone it. So if you have, let's say, to then add a 2, 3, 5 machine, it's just copy paste of what you'll have done. So it's a scalable solution. And then things mature step by step, because then their end customer asks for a new feature, new widget, or so on. But they say from what they want at the beginning, in a couple of weeks, they are ready and already delivering to their end customer.
Exactly. So a couple of weeks is the usual time frame.
Okay, thank you very much. And then there is one more question, Alfred, regarding platforms. And it says,
okay.
Platform business is usually a scaling business. Would your platform be capable of handling high number of units, let's say 50,000 or even 500,000?
Okay. Yeah, so our platforms are exactly designed to handle such volumes. So our biggest single project is already reaching almost 1 million entities.
Wonderful.
So no
Thank you very
concern
much. So
about
as
this.
far as I can see, we do not have more questions, which would mean that we have reached the end just perfectly in time. So thank you very much to all the panelists. And as I said, dear attendees, you will get an email quite soon with the video recording and also contact information. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.